Hi, welcome to today's episode. You have probably heard of the choose 2 out of 3 conundrum. You can have cheap, you can have good, you can have fast, you can have 2 out of 3. What I would like you to consider is that you will probably get none of those 3. You will instead get expensive, poor quality, and you will have it slowly if you do not have systems. Like, your capacity to deliver your business, like what your business does, is impeded at a certain level of growth. In the early days, startup, even in small teams where you can meet and talk and communicate freely, you don't need systems. You don't need processes. You will naturally have them created on the spot. People are problem solving, people are sorting out how to do it. There's conversations, there's an excitement. It's a great time in business. But eventually you're going to get good enough in your business that you actually need to deal with the problem that systems solve. And that is that things are known how they get done. Like there's literal documentation about, hey, this is how we do things. This is how we communicate. This is how we get things done. This is how we assess for quality. This is how we hire. This is how we fire. This is how we do accounting. This is how we do marketing. And you don't need that in the early stages. But once you hit a certain stage, what goes on beyond that is a significant problem, and more people will not solve this problem. It's a lot like going fishing and you cast the line and it works like 5, 6, 10 casts. You might even bring in some fish, but then it tangles and you don't know how to fix that tangle. So what you do instead is you buy another fishing rod, and again, it works 5, 6, 10, 20, 25 times, but then it tangles again. And so you then get another fishing rod and another fishing rod. But the problem is that all of these fishing rods are quite expensive and they're not really doing what they're meant to do. Like they're meant to be able to be cast and brought in and cast and brought in and cast and catch the fish and bring that in and cast. But if they tangle, then they're no longer usable. And this is what happens in businesses without systems once they get past a certain size. No systems, you now have a tangle. You have people unsure about what they should be doing. They're unsure about when they should be doing it. They're unsure about what other contingencies are in place with it. Who else on the team is carrying parts of that system? And where are they? There's no optics. There's no capacity to look and say, oh, we're waiting on that. And you can't even, your team can't see it. And guess what? Who else can't see it? You can't see it. You're blind to what's actually going on in your business. This means that things will be slow, they will be expensive, and they will be of poor quality. You will get none. Forget about 2 out of 3. You're getting 3 out of 3 on the wrong direction. And the other problem with this, it's expensive. All of those fishing rods that don't work, expensive. Now, this means payroll sucks. As it comes around, you're like, oh my goodness, how are we going to find this money? We've got to sell more. We've got to do this. We've got to, whatever the craziness is to get by. But mentor of mine, Garrett J. White, he said, your lack of processes is costing you 50 to 70% too many people. 50 to 70%. Now, I don't have any data to back that up. That's just what he said. And you can say, well, that's garbage. But if it was 50% too many people, I want you to imagine that come next week, you could cut your payroll in half and get more work done, at least the same and probably more. And this might bring up a firing situation for you. Like, well, I've got on my team. I don't really want to fire them. Well, you could take it the other way then. Guess what? You get systems and processes on point and you're doing twice as much work. You're actually beginning to be able to expand and have people consistently deliver high quality work on time, on budget, because your processes are there. You can see what's being worked on. Your team knows how to do things, how to look up stuff. Yes, they are resourceful. Hopefully they're resourceful anyway, but they can actually even improve the processes as they go through it and go, actually, here's a better way. This is all possible when you make the jump to the systems mindset. and particularly a methodology, a systems methodology that allows you to use systems, to grow systems, to document your process, to see where your team is up to see what work's being done. All of this allowing you to do significantly more work for the same number of people. You do not have your team waiting to see you and ask you for help. Hey, we need to problem solve this. We need to problem solve this. But more than this, when you have this on point, your team will think like this. They'll think systematically, which means that when they're trained in it, they will get it and they're like, oh, I can see how this works. Once that light bulb moment happens, it has to happen for you first. As the business owner, it must happen for you first. Like, your team's not going to get it. It's unlikely that they're up at night searching for how to pay payroll, or why don't my team work, or how do I get better team functioning? Why is my management so poor? And you have not made the jump yet that this is a systems problem. That maybe you've got team problems, maybe, but most likely your lack of systems, your lack of processes, your lack of optics, your lack of the way to think through running a business is causing your results to be poor. If you want some help with this, head over to systemio.dev. I hope you got a lot of value out of today. If you are suffering with these problems, you must sort this problem out. Head over to systemio.dev. I'll see you tomorrow on the next episode.